Thank you so much for joining us this morning, sir. We've had you on our program many times, but the first time face-to-face in this new virtual environment. How's everything going, man?
We're hanging in there. Different world, but we're making the best of it. We're more fortunate than most. And, quite honestly, I feel more for like the mom who's trying to homeschool her kids and earn a living, or the parents who, obviously been let go by their employers and are trying to find a way to, pay their rent and feed their family. So it's unprecedented times. And I think it's a time that we need to be thankful for what we have, but more importantly, we need to think about others and everything that they're going through. And hopefully the end is near and that we can see the end of this thing and we can get back to some form of normalcy. But my heart goes out to those who are really struggling during these difficult times.
Absolutely the case. And we just hope that 2021 is a much better year, of course. And I mean, for you guys at ESPN, of course, in the grand scheme of things, for what you're talking about, it's small potatoes, but you guys have had to make quite a few changes. Just kind of talk about the kind of the ups and downs and maybe the pros and cons of some of the broadcasting kind of quips you've had to make. Of course, a lot of broadcasters, calling games from home and things like that. What's kind of been some of the pros and cons just for you as far as some of these new changes you've had to go through this year at ESPN?
Yeah, they're not that difficult. For me in the studio, things haven't changed except I wear a mask when, we're not on the air. And, obviously we have social distancing where we're seated. You come in, you do your sports center hits, you're not in the studio, you're in the box actually downstairs in a virtual studio, not a virtual studio, but just with a camera. And basically you're talking to the sports center host that's literally across the hall from you, but you're not allowed in the studio to interact. Obviously, it's more difficult doing the things you like to do. Like as an analyst, I like to use the touch screen to kind of tell a story and show people exactly how and why things are happening. So you're not able to do that in the same way unless they're telestrated in advance. But besides that, calling games it's difficult. I'm doing some A-10 games, and I'm in Bristol, and the guy that's calling the games is in another state. There's a slight delay, which you're dealing with. Sometimes you talk over each other, which is something you don't want to do. But on the other hand, look, those are minor things. I mean, like when you put it in perspective, and I talk
Certainly
all the time. When you put it in perspective, I mean, these aren't even obstacles. Just like I say, even with the student athletes, the world is sideways. The world is upside down. The world is in a pandemic. The world is fighting each and every day against this virus that controls us, that we don't control. So for the athletes, dealing what they're dealing with, the isolation, the world is dealing with isolation. At least the athletes have a release, the opportunity to play. So like I said, I feel for everyone involved, but I feel for the people that have really been impacted in terms of taking care of their family and their mental health.
Well, I think sports in general are definitely providing a much needed release for people kind of in these times. So glad to see everything has gone off, without a hitch for the most part in college football and the NFL, now in college basketball. Coach, I want to start kind of with the Missouri Tigers, a team that we cover here very closely. 9-2 now. Cuonzo Martin finally has a veteran squad that's able to defend, kind of able to do what he wants them to do. Big win over South Carolina here on Tuesday night, and it was great to see Frank Martin back out on the court. That's number one. But what do you see out of this Missouri team? And the SEC is going to kind of get crowded there for those top four spots. How do you see this playing out for Mizzou?
I really like their team. I mean, you can't have enough Smiths, by the way. I mean, it's a good thing to have a bunch of Smiths on your roster. These are balling.
They got three.
Jeremiah Tillman, I mean, when he plays well, when he stays out of foul trouble, when he rebounds it, he's getting more confident finishing around the basket. This is a typical Cuonzo Martin team when his teams get older and more mature, because he's not taking shortcuts in recruiting. He's developing players. He's developing character. He's developing chemistry. He's building it for a long term, not a quick fix. When these guys mature, he's getting old and staying old. They defend, they compete, they share the ball. They can deal with the adversity of maybe getting bopped and come back and play the next game. His calm leadership is something that is really, really special. And his relationship with his players, you can see it, because I say in these times, maturity is obviously the key. It's hard enough to make that transition from high school to college. In normal times, in a pandemic, it's almost impossible. And we're seeing that with younger teams. Older players, older teams have shared experiences. Older players and older teams have had adversity and have had to fight through adversity and understand that adversity visits the strong, it lives with the weak, and they got to move on, learn from it, basically have erase the board and have a clean slate. So I like their team. I think they have toughness. I think they have more ways to score it. We know they're going to defend. And I think, the key is Jeremiah Tillman, because when he's rebounding the basketball, when he's on the floor, when he gives him something inside scoring, then other good things happen. I think I'm pretty sure it's Kobe Brown. I think he's going to be a really good player. I think he's going to be a really good player. He shows glimpses of a guy that, can really do a lot of different things at his size, his strength, and his versatility. I like their team. I think that obviously Alabama plays a totally different style of basketball. LSU can really score, but they don't defend anyone. So when you start to go down the league, I think, I said the other night, I think Missouri is in position to compete for a league championship, and that's including even though Alabama's undefeated.
Yeah, we saw Alabama last night really light it up at LSU, and when they're shooting, they've just been almost unstoppable offensively. Talk about the top of the league. We saw Tennessee go down in a big way to the Florida Gators, so things are going to be a little bit jumbled at the top when things really get rolling here. We get to the heart of the schedule. Who emerges at the top of the SEC, Coach? Who gets it done in the end?
You see, like Tennessee, they played without Jaden Springer, which is a player that they're without. But other teams play without players and survive. Tennessee struggles offensively. I was really disappointed in their ability to take care of the basketball. The 17 turnovers yesterday was just unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
They can't turn you over and play ahead of the defense. I'm not as big on Fulkerson, and I know he played well yesterday and scored some points as other people. I just don't know if they have enough shot makers to survive if they can't turn you over and dominate you and take you out of what you're doing defensively. Vescovi's a good player. What he gives you offensively, he takes away from defensively because people attack him, which I think is an issue. Josiah James, I think, is a very good player. I think Keon Johnson's going to be a terrific player, and I think Jaden Springer is a very good player. Those three guys are really good, but there's not one of them where you say the ball's going to go bop, bop, bop over reverse. He's going to step in and knock down a three. He's not going to do it. Same thing with Eve Pons. Those guys are all very good players. I think they're all winning players. I think they're all extremely competitive. I think they all have high character, but they're all flawed offensively at this point, and I think that's going to be their Achilles heel. Florida, it's amazing what they're doing with everything they've been through. Is going down, and then obviously Scotty didn't play yesterday. I thought Appleby was absolutely phenomenal. I thought he was phenomenal. And then there are a lot of teams in the league, just, who knows? I mean, I don't think Georgia's enough to compete right now. I think Mississippi and Ole Miss are not good enough to compete right now. Vanderbilt's not good enough to compete right now. Oh, sorry about that.
You're fine.
Those teams are just not good enough right now. Kentucky still is a wild card. It's not like Cal's got the magic potion, like he's going to fix them. Yeah, they're going to get better because he's a great coach, and it takes him time to figure out his team because they're so new. My thing is I just don't know how hard they compete offensively. I think they're fine defensively, but you got to compete offensively. And I'm not sure they have an offensive identity right now. So, and that's why I say I think Missouri is in a situation with this team to not only go to the tournament, win games in the tournament, not only compete for an SEC championship, maybe even, who knows, maybe even win an SEC championship.
Absolutely. Looking over at the Kansas Jayhawks, who, to me, Coach, played their hearts out, played their asses off in that game at Baylor, and still you look at it, they lose by 8 on a last-second three, cuts the lead from 11-8. But when Christian Brown, when Ochai Agbaji, when they're hitting threes, that seems to be the identity of this team. Maybe not your typical Bill Self team that we've seen. What do you make of the Kansas Jayhawks going forward now with 3 league losses? It's going to be awfully hard to catch Baylor, isn't it?
It's going to be hard to catch Baylor. Now, Dave McCormick's getting better. He's been inconsistent. Prior to that, he had those back-to-back 20-point game, or he was averaging 20 points a game. Still got to rebound the ball a little bit better. Marcus Garrett doesn't seem like he's what I would have expected him this year, and I love him. I think he can defend. I think he's their best post feeder. Look, they had the immovable object last year in Udoka Azubuike, which was ridiculous. I mean, just ridiculous. They had a guy in Dotson who could get him an easy shot anytime or get it out in transition and get it an easy basket. They don't get those things. I mean, they're shooting almost 9% lower from two this year than they did a year ago. And their opponents are shooting almost 9% higher from two this year than a year ago. And that's an issue. Agbaji, I love his game. I love Christian Brown's game. I think they're good. I think Jalen Wilson is going to be a really good player. I think when they're up in passing lanes, like I thought they had Baylor reacting to him for a period of time. I think that the more aggressive they are defensively, the better they are, even though they don't have a shot blocker. I thought they did a good job of keeping the ball on the side of the floor some against Baylor. But like most of these teams, they don't have that one guy that's just going to flat take over a game. And I'm not sure college basketball has too many guys like that right now. So Bill do a great job with them. Baylor, to me, is the most connected defensive team in college basketball. They have more floor gamers and shot makers, even though they're not a great offensive team. They have really as good a backcourt as I can remember. They go 4 or 5 deep. I mean, you throw LJ Cryer in the thing, and there's 5 guards out there. I mean, and you include Matt Meyer in the thing as a guard who's like, Inspector Gadget, because you can put him anywhere, and he never sort of shot he didn't like, but he makes most of them. Adam Flagler is a much better passer than I thought he was. Davion Mitchell's probably improved more than any guard in the country. I mean, he went from a guy that couldn't shoot it to a guy shooting over 40 from the three. So they're a special team. They're going to be hard to catch. There's no doubt about it.
Well, we got to talk a little bit about Gonzaga, a team that's been such a juggernaut. And is it time to really look at Mark Few as maybe the best coach in America? And with you get a guy like Jalen Suggs, a 5-star player this year, is this something to kind of expect from Gonzaga going forward? And you like to use this term a lot, Coach, not blue bloods, but new bloods. Gonzaga certainly is that. And can we expect that recruiting to kind of continue for Mark Few going forward? And if that's the case, man, look out.
Well, he's not going to take shortcuts in recruiting. He's not going to be a one-and-done factory. What they're going to do is they're going to recruit. They're going to develop players. They're going to go overseas. They found a niche. They get transfers. They go overseas. They get some freshmen, and they develop some players. And this team is really special. McCory Kispert, I mean, now he's not a freshman. He's a grown man. He's learned how to play. Drew Timme redshirted. He's gotten better. He can score. Balo's getting better. Yayi is improved. He's getting better. So they have a good balance of developing players and recruiting international players, and then obviously filling it in with, look, they're a destination program. They might be in a mid-major league. All right, they are a blue blood right now. They recruit their facilities, their fan support, everything about that program is at the highest level. So they're fun to watch. I mean, they dropped 95, 96 points getting off the bus. They have the way they play, where they flow from their transition game into their offense, is phenomenal. They've got to get a little bit more consistent at times defensively, but man, they're fun to watch.
Well, you coached in the ACC, Coach. We got North Carolina, Duke, and now Kentucky from the SEC, all out of the top 25 here this week. Good or bad for college basketball? I don't say good or bad. I mean, here's the deal. I mean, you got 2 freshman guards at North Carolina. Anthony Harris will change them. North Carolina's going to get better. Those big guys obviously are, some of the best front courts in all of college basketball, but I think Anthony Harris will stabilize their backcourt. He can make a shot. He can post feed. He doesn't turn the ball over. It'll take pressure off R.J. Davis and Caleb Love. So that'll be interesting to watch. I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, no, I don't think it's good that Kentucky's bad. I don't think it's good that Duke's bad. I mean, so you're wishing for Duke to be bad for someone else? No, I think that, look, those programs are good for college basketball. Those programs get the highest ratings for a reason. Those highest ratings actually pay those leagues to, keep them, in business and help other sports, quite honestly. I mean, the television contracts are driven by ratings, and the teams that get the best ratings are Duke, North Carolina, and Kentucky. That's just the way it is. And, throw Kansas in there probably. So, I think it's a little bit of an anomaly. All of them are relying on freshman players. All of them have a hard time competing for a long time. I used to always say, I was saying that anyone can do something once, the very best do it every single time. But, all of them have been impacted by COVID in terms of not being able to do what they normally would do in the summer in terms of player development. They're not going anywhere, but, I wouldn't say it's good or bad. I don't wish
bad on anyone. I think that college basketball is good. The more good teams we have, the better. But you know what? It's like, is the Major League Baseball better when the Yankees are bad? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well
it's just
said.
the way it is. Is the NFL better now because the Patriots lost this year? Had a bad team this year.
Well,
When
maybe.
and when the Knicks have been bad forever, you think the NBA is better? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, college basketball is we need to celebrate the game. The good thing is we have these kids are competing. You see the joy in their faces. They're getting an opportunity to do what they love. It's obviously extenuating circumstances, but we're getting through the thing. And we have called the 3 Ps. We have patience. We got to have patience because games are going to be canceled. Things are going to happen. It's how you respond to that will be the key. We have multiple plans. Games are canceled. All right. So you know what? What do you do? Do you reschedule it? Do you cancel it? Do you move it? Do you find another opponent? And then we have protocol. And the protocol is working because the protocol ensures that the players are safe. And when games are canceled and teams go in quarantine or teams go in quarantine for contact tracing, that's for the health and well-being of the people that are involved. So I think those 3 Ps are going to get us through the season.
Last thing, Coach, before we cut you loose here, you're talking about the NFL. We've got the championship weekend coming up here. Chiefs and Bills, Packers and Bucks. Who do you have going through and who wins the Super Bowl? Keeping in mind, of course, that we're sitting here in Kansas City, so choose wisely.
Well, I love Patrick Mahomes. I call John Morant the Patrick Mahomes of college basketball. But my main man, Kevin Connors, who I work with at ESPN, is like the president of the Bills Mafia.
Uh-oh.
So, but growing up in Long Island, I was a Jets fan. So, I mean, who likes the Bills if you're a Jets fan? So, you know what? I want a good game there. And then the other game, I mean, the Packers and Brady and Rodgers. I mean, it's an incredible story. And I just get the biggest kick out of all the geniuses that analyze those things. Brady plays bad early. He's too old. Plays good middle. He's fine. They lose a game. It's the coach's fault. Oh, they're geniuses again. Same thing with Rodgers. It's the same thing. I mean, you media types, you guys got to figure it out. Take a stand and stay there. But, I would say that probably I'd root for Brady before Rodgers. And I like Aaron Rodgers. I had a chance to spend some time with the Kentucky Derby. He lost me a little bit when he gave me he had a bad game and they asked him what he was going to do. He said he was going to have an extra shot of bourbon. I mean, like 2 more fingers of bourbon or something. Come on, man. I mean, you're one of the best players in the world. Don't take that route. So, hey, I'm going to be watching college basketball this weekend.
There you go. That too, for sure, Coach. It's been such a pleasure.
The scores.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, it's been an honor as always. We'll be watching ESPN. Thanks for everything you guys do, keeping us going here. Best of luck going forward. Stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll do it again soon, sir.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Stay safe. Wear your mask.
Yes, sir. Thank you.